Hello everyone, this side Diksha Ahuja. Welcome back to my channel Economic Zone by Diksha Ahuja. So in this video, I'm gonna cover up with part 2 of Unit Money and Banking of class 12th Macroeconomics. Right? So we understood the meaning of money, functions of money, barter system, limitations of barter system, and then we know about money supply and measures of money supply. Then we know about legal reserve ratio, that reserves which are being kept with the bank do not lend the entire amount as loans, right? They keep some amount as their reserves. So today's topic is credit creation by commercial banks, and then we will study the functions of central bank. So let's cover this first topic. So the topic name is credit creation by commercial bank, and as in the previous video we understood that commercial banks has two functions. It accepts deposits and advances loans. So for advancing loan, it keeps some reserves for it, right? So what is legal reserve ratio? Legal reserve ratio is that fraction of total deposit which is to be kept with commercial bank as reserves and the remaining amount to be given as loans. So before starting this credit creation, let me tell you we are taking two assumptions because you know this model is so complicated, your real life is so complicated. So I'm taking a simple model and assuming there is only one bank, right? The entire banking system is one bank, one unit. There is no names of the commercial bank, right? This is my first assumption. Second assumption I say is all the payments and receipts are acceptable in checks. That means nothing is given in cash. All the payments and receipts are transferred through check only, that is through banking system only. So let's understand this credit creation by commercial bank with a process of rounds, right? Let's say an example. This can come in your exam directly asking that explain the process of credit creation by commercial bank. So here we are with this table. So let's take an example where we are saying legal reserve ratio, that is that part of deposit which the commercial bank will keep with themselves is 20%, right? And initial deposit, that means the first deposit that is coming in the bank, the commercial bank, is 10,000. So you know what? This 10,000 will be multiplied to many times. Now what is it? This is known as money multiplier. I'll tell you one thing. If the initial deposits will change by let's say 5,000, according to the money multiplier, it will tell you how many times money it will create in the economy. Because the question is, how commercial bank create credit, right? How commercial bank create money. So if deposits are 10,000, तो multiply होकर कितने हो जाते हैं? Let's say 50,000, let's say 1 lakh. It depends on the legal reserve ratio and initial deposit. So we need to know this money multiplier that says how many times the total deposit is changing, how many times the total deposit is changing due to change in initial deposit. If initial deposit is changing by 5,000 and then total is changing by 20, so 20 upon 5 is 4 times, right? So we'll see in this question also, and the formula for money multiplier is 1 upon legal reserve ratio. Learn it. The money multiplier formula is 1 upon legal reserve ratio. Okay, so let's start credit creation by commercial bank. So after this assumption, let's start. Example, legal reserve ratio is 20% and the primary deposit is 10,000. So rounds. First round, that is initial round. Initially, the bank, a bank, right? I said there's no names of the bank. So a bank got the deposit of 10,000, right? They got the deposit of 10,000 and out of that, they'll keep, legal reserve ratio is 20%. So they'll keep 20% of 10,000, that is 2,000 with themselves and loan the remaining amount. What is left? 8,000 is taken over as a loan by the public. Now the question arises, how they get loan from the bank? Bank do not directly give the loan to the person. Firstly, bank has to open an account, open a saving account in that bank, right? And then only the bank transfers the money in their deposit account. This is how a bank provides loan to people, right? So 8,000 will be taken over by the loan or by the people. So this 8,000 will be treated somewhere in the market. Just understand. A person who has taken a loan of 8,000 will go outside the bank, he will withdraw the amount and will go for purchasing goods and services. Let's say either for consumption purpose or for investment purpose. या तो वो consume कर लेगा वो, let's say he is having a sister marriage, he will purchase some dress or something. On the other hand, if he is a good businessman, he will purchase one machinery of 8,000, let's say. So he can use this 8,000 in any manner, right? So let's say he purchases a machinery of 8,000. Now there will be a machinery owner to whom he will be giving the check, right? He will be giving a check to the person. That means the machine owner will get a check of 8,000 and he will get the investment, the machinery. Now the question arises, the receipt owner, now the machinery owner has got the receipt, now got the check. Where he will go? He will go to his bank. A new deposit of 8,000 will again come as round 1 in the banks by the machinery owner. So again the bank will keep the 20%, that is 1,600, and give 6,400 as loan amount. Again the people will have to open an account and they will withdraw the money. They will spend on goods and services, or they will spend for consumption or investment. Again that amount will come back to the bank and this process will continue. You need to show till third round and then you need to do this dot dot, right? This is known as credit creation by commercial bank. Now we need to know, with this 10,000 deposits, initial deposit, what is the actual deposit which is being created in the economy? Economy mein kitna deposit create hua hai? We need to know that, right? So let's know that how the credit creation is being done. So money multiplier is 1 upon legal reserve ratio, that is 0. This 20%, so we can write it 0.20, right? So I've written as 0.20, then we'll solve out and then we'll get 10 by 2, 5 times. So money multiplier kitna aa raha hai? 5 times. That means whatever is the deposits, we will multiply that amount with 5 to get the credit creation by commercial bank. So the formula is money multiplier 5 times into initial deposit, primary deposit, that is 10,000. So 5 into 10 is 50,000 is the credit creation by the commercial bank in this case. You can get either the numerical example also, or you can learn the same example if the question asks directly in 4 to 6 marks, 4 marks that explain the process of credit creation by the commercial bank with an example, right? So how we'll get these values? Just understand that. Deposit multiplied by 5 times, that is 10 into 5, 50,000. Then the 20% of this 50,000 will be reserves, that is 10,000, and remaining 80%, that is 40,000, will be as loan amount. So this question ends when the deposit amount, the initial deposit amount is equal to the total of reserve amount, and the credit creation is being the multiplied effect, that is 5 into 10,000, that is 50,000 we will get. So here comes the end of the credit creation by commercial bank. I hope this is clear. So now we are moving to functions of central bank. Right? Central Bank of India is Reserve Bank of India. Right? As like for other countries, there are different central banks. Let's say for USA there is Federal Reserve, and for other countries the other name for central bank. For India, the Reserve Bank of India is the central bank of the country. So what is central bank and what are the functions it plays? Let's know. The very first function of the central bank of a country is currency authority or bank of issue. Basically, who can print currency? Only the central bank, only the Reserve Bank of India. No other person can open a shop to print the money, right? Isn't it? This is as simple as that. So, what are the benefits of giving the central bank authority to print money? Right? It gives you uniformity in note circulation. Nobody else is having the sole authority, because only the central bank, Reserve Bank of India, is having the sole authority of issuing the currency in the market. Right? So it helps in the uniformity in the note circulations of the country. It maintains public faith that this is currency and this is not. Right? And we'll tell you so many examples in this. Currency authority or printing of currency is useful for the economy. Right? Let's say, also one thing more I need to tell you, that in India, basically, central bank prints all of the notes, but 1 rupee note and coins are issued by Ministry of Finance, Government of India. All the notes are printed by Reserve Bank of India only. Only 1 rupee note and coins are printed by Ministry of Finance, right? So that is Government of India. One more thing, government also needs printing of money. How? Whenever the government is in deficit, at that point of time, the government sells securities to the central bank. वो अपनी securities को central bank को sell कर देती है. Now the asset of the central bank increases, right? Because the question arises, you must think in your mind that how much currency will be there in the country. RBI को तो जब मन चाहेगा वो print कर देगा. No, it is not the case. RBI does not print according to his own wish. It depends on the assets of RBI and assets of the country. If the assets of the country, the securities of the country or securities of RBI increases, if the securities increases, then the notes printed by RBI increases. As I gave you the example, if the government will sell its security to the central bank, the assets of the central bank will increase. Now what the central bank will do? Central bank will print a new currency and give that amount to the government to fulfill its deficit. Right? This is also known as deficit financing, in which the central bank helps the government in financing the deficit by printing new currency. Right? So basically no other person is having a legal right to issue currency, only the central bank is having the sole authority, which helps in uniformity in the market and maintains the public faith. Okay? So the next function that the central bank plays is banker the government. For we all people, we have our bank, that are commercial banks. Somebody has PNB, somebody has Syndicate Bank, Canara Bank, and so on. Right? So for the government, which is the bank, government ke liye, central bank is the bank. Like he can deposit money in the central bank by a current account. I hope you know the difference between current account and saving account. Current account are being opened by the businessman and the saving account are opened by the normal households. Right? So government has a current account in central bank. So that's why central bank works as a banker to the government. It also works as an agent. It accepts receipts and make payments on the behalf of government, helps the government in all the monetary and fiscal matters, also working as an advisor for the government. So this is how, by policing three things, banker, agent and advisor, government has a bank, which is central bank. Central bank plays a function as a banker, agent and advisor for the government. Next is banker's bank. Bankers bank, सारे banks का bank. Central bank is the bankers bank of all other commercial bank. How? Let's know it. First point is custodian of cash reserves. You should know legal reserve ratio is divided into two subparts. We have legal reserve ratio that is divided into two subparts. CRR, cash reserve ratio, and SLR, statutory liquidity ratio. So this amount is to be kept by central bank. हमें ये amount कहाँ रखवाना पड़ता है? Central bank को by all the commercial bank. So the central bank keep some reserves of all the commercial bank. That's why we're saying custodian means he's the keeper, right? He's the keeper of all the cash reserves of all the commercial banks. A certain proportion of the total deposit. I can speak the definition of CRR. Cash reserve ratio is that fraction of total deposit which the commercial bank keep with central bank in the form of cash. Cash के form में central bank के पास रखवाया जाता है. So central bank keeps cash reserves. That's why he's working as banker's bank. Next is very important. This can be asked separately also. Lender of last resort means last resort. When nobody is giving loan to the commercial bank, let's say the commercial bank is on the stand of getting insolvent, getting bankrupt. At that point of time, if nobody is helping that commercial bank, who will help? Definitely the banker's bank, that is the central bank, will help that commercial bank in maintaining the confidence of the public. How they can help? They can give loan to the public, to the commercial bank. They can give loan to the commercial bank against treasury bills, bills of exchange, promissory notes, right? For short-term purpose, till the time it maintains confidence of the public, right? Okay, next is clearinghouse function. Central bank plays the role of clearinghouse for all the commercial banks, right? There is a clearinghouse maintained in which all the banks come, one representative of all the banks come and clarify all the debit and credit transactions, right? This is how they play the function of banker's bank. Then you should know central bank supervises all other banks as a facilitator. After 1991, RBI is working as facilitator for all the other banks in mergers. When two banks are merging, amalgamation when more than 2, 4, 5, 6 banks are merging. In that case also, licensing also, they have to take permission from central bank. So that's why we are saying this is very important, these two, right? This is how the central bank is working as banker's bank. Next, custodian of gold and foreign exchange reserves. Now the central bank is also working as a keeper, right? It's custodian of the gold. It should minimally maintain a gold amount and foreign exchange reserves. That means central bank is obliged to keep a minimum amount of gold and the other currency in its hand at any point of time, right? So central bank has to keep the gold reserves and the other currencies such as dollars, euro and all with them at every point of time. So this is the fourth function, custodian of gold and foreign exchange reserves. The last function actually was very important, control of credit. The central bank can increase the money supply, money बढ़ा भी सकता है economy में, or the central bank can decrease the money supply in the economy, right? By the qualitative and quantitative measures. By quantitative and qualitative measures, but for this year it is being cancelled, right? This topic is cancelled, but still this topic is there in the next unit of macro, that is determination of income, output and employment. So we'll definitely cover this topic in that unit, definitely, because from this chapter this is cancelled, right? The qualitative and quantitative instruments are cancelled from the central bank. So these are the functions of central bank. You should learn only this. So here comes the end of the chapter. Chapter is over. I'll come up with the revision part in the next video. Thank you. Bye bye.